All right, everybody. Hey, just a couple more minutes, really, for everybody to come in so we can get going, okay, please? Come on in. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. Can you hear us in the back okay? All right. We've got a really fun night planned for you here. A lot, and I mean a lot of work has gone into what you're going to see tonight. And I've got to tell you something amazing. It was, gosh, a week ago, maybe a little bit more. There were some run-throughs going on that I watched. You know, I've got a little experience in some performance type things, and I was quite nervous. And when I saw that happen, I was more nervous. And there were a lot of meetings, a lot of suggestions. We had all kinds of people from the community helping out, saying, you know, I think your pitch could be better with this. I think that maybe you want to do that, talk about numbers, whatever it was. Then everybody got together the next night and did pitching again. I've never seen a change that much, that fast. It was amazing. Now, it's been a few days. They've been working more, and I haven't seen them since, so I can't wait to see this tonight either. So this is going to be great. Thanks so much for coming out. For those that may not know, I was the weather guy on TV here for 31 years over at WPTZ. And the only reason I came tonight is because the sun is back out. Otherwise, it would have been like, I'm not doing so well. But I got involved with investing here in Vermont in 2017 because I had originally gotten a degree in business. We owned a radio station down in Middlebury, so I was dabbling while I was doing my thing on TV. But I always wanted to jump in, you know, head first and do the whole thing, which is kind of what I'm doing now. I've been working with Lauren over at the Chamber with LaunchVT. And I've had a few people ask me, I've also started this thing called Vermont Startup News. And I just want to bring this up quickly. You may have seen it on LinkedIn. The whole idea behind this is I realized looking around there just wasn't really a clearinghouse for what was happening in this community. And between 2017 and now, the change has been incredible. You think about it, there are more venture firms. Hula is here. The list goes on. And I was running into people who were like, oh, I didn't know that, or I didn't know that. So I'm just throwing this out to you. Please, if you have information on what's going on at your company, somebody else's company, and you think everybody needs to know about it, please contact us because we want to tell everybody, because the way this place is growing is incredible, isn't it? Yeah, and you're all here, so. All righty, we've got a few people for you to meet before we get rolling. So I want to introduce Lauren Bass, of course, the Executive Director over at LaunchVT. Lauren.
Welcome to Demo Night 2023. Hi, everyone. You having fun? Enjoying the food and the drink? I really wish I could enjoy some of the drinks, but. So this is a very important night tonight because we're talking not just about these incredible founders, but what they are doing for Vermont in our amazing business ecosystem. And there's also one other thing I'd like to bring up. We have a record-breaking audience here tonight, over 300 of you. That is not counting the party crashers, and I know you are out there. So welcome, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. First of all, I would also like to address the elephant in the room. That is me. I thought this year it would be so interesting to not just run an accelerator, but also be an incubator. So coming at it from both sides. Don't worry, I am not due yet. With a little bit of luck, I will be delivering this event first. So we'll see how that goes tonight. But let's, as I said, talk about why we're really here. When we think of LaunchVT, you see a rocket ship, you're thinking it's the here and now, right? But we're not. We're talking about the future of business and the future of jobs and opportunities that are coming to our state. Tonight, you're seeing into the future because growth entrepreneurship creates jobs that retain our youngsters coming out of universities and our schools. It attracts amazing talent from states all over the US and beyond. The taxes that these businesses create fund our schools, build our libraries, help create our roads, our infrastructure. They raise the average wage for workers here in Vermont. So tonight is special. These entrepreneurs are fearlessly building shared value for all of us by helping Vermont thrive economically. They operate to be profitable and as forces for good. How does LaunchVT make it possible? Well, first of all, it takes a village. I want to start by acknowledging a new key partner, courtesy of BTV Ignite through a grant that they gave us. Row Impact worked with us this year. Noah Miller, the founder, I believe, is here somewhere in the audience, who worked with our cohort this year on ESG reporting, environmental social governance, building resiliency within their startups, and working on new ways to create shared value with their stakeholders. Unquestionably, our secret sauce are our one-to-one coaches. These are folks who are world-class executives, investors, and entrepreneurs who selflessly give endless hours of their time to the founders they're paired with. Coaches, thank you. We hope you'll join us on stage later to say hello. We rely on over 35 professional mentors offering pro bono one-hour meetings in law, human resources, accounting, marketing, etc. Basically, any topic that a founder might have a question about. And none of this would be possible without nearly 50 exceptionally generous funding and service partners. Thank you. Of course, we are always grateful to our countless friends and advisors to LaunchVT. This year, we had 14 guest facilitators conducting workshops with our cohort. We had endless past alumni come and inspire our cohort and share their experiences from previous times at LaunchVT. And of course, the unwavering support of the Lake Champlain Chamber. I am so grateful. To my fellow colleagues, I am awed by your support and enthusiasm for LaunchVT. I feel blessed to be a member of your team. Without further ado, it is my honor to introduce our first guest speaker, Russ Scully, founder of Hula and a leading visionary in our startup community. Russ, we wouldn't be here tonight without you and your team. Thank you for your steadfast belief in our program and, most importantly, our founders and our alumni, some of whom you have invested in through the Hula Fund. Thank you. Russ, the floor is yours.
Hey, thanks everyone for coming out tonight. And I got to say, it's humbling to hear those words. So thanks, Lauren. It's really nice of you. This is a huge team effort. This is not the result of one person's interest in building something like this. I just want to give a huge shout out to the whole Hula team for everything and the events team for putting this on. It's really great to see this kind of a turnout for an event like this. As you know, this is a big reason why we built this facility, is to hold events like this. I'm really excited about the growth of our entrepreneurial community here, the number of startups coming out of Vermont. I think that we're making some traction. I think if you listen to a lot of the word on the street, there's a lot of new interest in what's going on up here. It's really exciting to hear. There's tremendous amount of momentum that I think we can really take advantage of, because more and more people, more and more companies, more and more clients, more and more employees, and so on and so forth are looking at Vermont now. And it's really fascinating to watch. It's great to hear. All this energy begets additional energy. So watching these cohorts and watching things like LaunchVT and take advantage of the opportunity of really exposing more and more startups to investors, to customers, and to everyone else, in and outside the state of Vermont is really exciting. And so it's been fun to be a part of this. It's been really, really exciting to watch this whole ecosystem grow. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from all the founders tonight. And I just wanted to say thank you to the depth of people that go into putting this event on is really incredible, from the selection committee that helps to identify these companies and these founders, to the coaches, as Lauren mentioned, all the coaches who put in some work, who volunteered their time, to make sure that we really hear sort of the best pitches possible from this cohort. So thank you for that. And for Tom Messner, who does a great job hosting this for us and emceeing this each time. I know Tom was a little bit worried about the potential turnout tonight because the weather was so good, and I felt like he was cueing me for a weather comment, and I was like, Tom, I'm not going toe-to-toe with you about the weather, so let's just leave it at that. But I do want to say thank you for everyone who came out tonight. This is a great showing and for a great cause and a great thing, and thank you to the Chamber for putting this on, and I'm really excited to see what's in store for us tonight, so thanks.
Thank you, Russ. It's great to hear from you, excuse me. Okay, next up. I would like to thank the state of Vermont, particularly our past founder of LaunchVT, who is now the Director of Entrepreneurship and Tech Commercialization at the Department of Economic Development, my friend Nick Grimley. Come on up.
Well, thank you, Lauren. It's great to be here tonight to see all the people here and the excitement and energy around this event. The Vermont Department of Economic Development has been a sponsor of this event from the very beginning, and what it has done for this ecosystem and the state is tremendous. The cohorts that have come through this accelerator over the years. Some of them were really starting to hear some really, really great things. They're growing, they're creating jobs, they're employing Vermonters, and from an economic development standpoint, entrepreneurship and innovation are at the lifeblood of moving our state's economy forward and ensuring a bright future for it. And we thank LaunchVT and all the competitors and Lauren for being such a great steward of the accelerator. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. And I'd also like to thank our other close partner, M&T Bank and Wilmington Trust. It is my honor to introduce Michelle Buswell, Senior Vice President and Senior Wealth Advisor at Wilmington Trust, and Matt Plass, Senior Vice President, Group Manager, Commercial Banking at M&T. Come on up.
Hi, everyone. It's so great to see you all tonight. And on behalf of M&T Bank and Wilmington Trust, we're thrilled to be here yet again. It's so nice to see this crowd every year get bigger and bigger and bigger. And just looking at you and thinking about where we live here in Vermont, we are so very lucky to be in this community.
Yeah, so we at M&T have been a sponsor since the original days of LaunchVT, and to see what those days were like compared to what we have today, it's really something that we're extremely proud of. Want to thank everybody for coming, all the entrepreneurs, all the investors. Lauren, let's give a round of applause for Lauren. Our celebrity host, Tom Messner. Yeah. Tom spent his whole career trying to predict the weather with marginal success. But now he's trying his hand at investing, which that's entrepreneurial spirit if I ever saw it. So thanks, Tom. But thank you very much. We're excited to be here. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, the fun is almost here. Let me tell you what is going to happen here tonight. We have a couple of prizes that are going to be given out, awards. We have the Audience Choice Award, and that's where you guys come in. So what is going to happen is after we see the 8 cohorts do their thing here, you can then go and get a token. I have that correct? And then you can put it in the box that goes with the company that you would like to vote for. And this is a lot of fun because sometimes it's very different than what the judges think for interesting reasons, I find sometimes. So please know that we need your vote coming up in just a little bit. And we, in addition to have that $5,000 Audience Choice Award, we've got the Lake Champlain Chamber Award, and that's where the judges come into play here. And they are going to listen. They're going to take notes. They have like 400 number 2 pencils with erasers, I noticed. So I'm not sure what that means, but they might change their mind. They might take bribes. I'm not sure what that is, but just be aware of that, and that's going to be fun. So let me introduce you to the judges, and please know I'm going to kind of give you the, we say in my day, the 45 version here. There is much more on your judges that are in the that came in the pamphlet that you got. All right, you ready? Michael Metz. Hi, Michael. Good to see you. Experienced executive and entrepreneur specializing in rare earth metals for photonics and high-tech applications. Man, that sounds important. Let's hear it for Michael. A familiar face for sure here, too, Janice St. Ange, president of the Flexible Capital Fund, an investment fund and community development financial institution. Janice? And Jeff Strawbridge. Jeff is the founder and CEO of Bootstrap Vermont, a marketing collective providing handcrafted marketing for growth-focused companies. Let's hear it for all 3 judges. And I hope you've had a chance to enjoy what's going on at the bar. Of course, we've got Sugar Snap helping us out there. And we also have, I've been struggling with this word because I hadn't heard this before. Have you heard of Guinnep before, you guys? Does that mean anything to you? Okay, it's a kind of a drink that Sugar Snap is offering up tonight. You can buy some of that. I guess it's really good, but we're going to have to check it out together for those that weren't aware of that. But anyway, Guinnep is from, it's by Alice and the Magician, and she was, I should say, from LaunchVT 2015 cohort. So apparently things are going well. That's great to hear. And also want to say thanks so much to our program partner, Cicada. So what do you say? Okay, this is how it's going to go tonight. We have 8 companies that are going to come through, all righty? They each get 7 minutes for a pitch. If they're still talking in 7 minutes, we're going to make sure they don't anymore. So we have a special way to quiet things up. So we're going to try to keep this relatively on time. So what happens is this. They give their pitch for 7 minutes, and then afterwards, we are going to have questions from our judges for 3 minutes. Now, so you know, if a judge is asking a question and the time is out, we're going to certainly let you finish your question, and then we're going to hope for an answer in like 15 seconds or so, because we don't want to cut you off. Or if one of the people from the cohort are answering a question, then we'll let them do that. But we're going to try to keep things moving relatively quickly here. So that's going to happen. Also, you're going to notice that presenters, as they exit the stage, they're going to receive Mila's Flower Farm, a nice bouquet, which I thought was really nice. So everybody gets something. That's kind of cool, isn't it? So what we're going to do is let's move the podium here, and let's get rolling. We ready to go back there?
Hell yeah.
He is ready to go. Are you ready? All right. It's the first of 8. Our first company is called Sleepwell Recycling. Please say hello to Josh Costa.
Ooh. We recycle all your mattress. Doesn't matter if it's covered with your cat's piss. We will rip it up and recycle that stuff and keep it out of the landfill. Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is Josh Costa, owner of Sleepwell Recycling, and for the last 3 years, I've been turning my passion into profit by recycling mattresses and box springs here in Chittenden County and beyond. Since I was a little boy, 2 years old, I always wanted to be a garbage man. And to tell you the truth, I'm living the dream. For the last 15 years, I've been recycling hard-to-recycle items here in New England. From over 700 cable boxes I've recycled, to being in 2,000 stinky basements and diverting items from those basements, to recycling 10,000 cans of paint, and now recycling 20,000 peed-on mattresses and box springs. So what's the issue with mattresses? Well, the issue is that they take up a ton's worth of space, a metric ton's worth of space that could be compacted garbage. So there's over 50,000 mattresses and box springs thrown into our landfills every day in the United States. And we all know that landfill space is filling up quickly. And here in the Northeast, that's even more crazy because Vermont's got one landfill. So how do we solve this issue? Bring in Sleepwell Recycling. All we do is rip up and recycle the contents of these items. 75% of a mattress or box spring can be recycled, and over 90% of those items' volume, the size that it takes up, can be diverted from our transportation and landfills. How do we do it? We simply deconstruct the mattress, we sort the items from the foam, which gets turned into carpet underlay, the topper, which gets turned into insulation, the wood, and the metal, and then we bale those items and we sell them. Keep them out of our landfills and turn them into new products. Here in Vermont, here in Chittenden County, we've usurped over 95% of market share of thrown away mattresses and box springs. In the last 2.5 years, we've done over 25,000 mattresses and box springs, and we're on pace to do 20,000 this year alone. Where do we get all these darn mattresses? Well, they come from a myriad of different businesses, from solid waste districts to furniture stores to hotels, motels, Holiday Inns, universities, colleges, anywhere that people would get rid of a ton of mattresses, they're our customer. And how did we get all of their business? Well, that was pretty easy. Our first customer, the first day of business, we went to Wendell's Furniture, asked Wendell how much he pays to get rid of a mattress. He set a price. I said, well, if we recycle it for that same price, and he goes, that's a no-brainer. And I go, okay, great. So that's how we got all of our business. Now, it brings us to the money. Over the last 3 years, we are cash flow positive. We have doubled our revenue every year that we've been in business. We've captured and guaranteed our contracts through municipalities, and we've got zero debt. Now, what do we do? How do we grow this thing? The first step is to replicate our already proven model. The way we do that is we've already professionalized and captured the market here in the saturated population or area of Vermont, and we're going to go to 3 new markets. We've selected these locations for their high cost to throw out a mattress. So over $20 to throw out a mattress in these other locations, not to mention the size of their population and their goals in sustainability. Now with our already proven model, we're going to usurp 95% of the market share of these thrown away mattresses and box springs in these new markets, and that will generate $4.2 million on mattress intake per year. Step 2, licensing. Now that we've already refined our operations and processes and captured these new markets, we're going to take our successes of being a direct operator and license our systems. So we have very few competitors. All of our competitors are focused on big markets with mattress banning laws like California, Oregon, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and they're spending millions of dollars on this expensive machinery to process the high volume of mattresses that they're receiving. And so what we're going to do is we're going to tap into the markets that they do not want because they cannot transport these disgusting mattresses because it's so expensive to transport 100 mattresses in a freight truck. So these target licensees are in areas of small saturated populations who charge a ton to get rid of a mattress in the landfill. So our target licensees are these municipalities. We've targeted over 4,000 municipalities with populations under 400,000 people, and we would reach out to them for licensing deals. And then Ashley's Furniture, one of our biggest customers, they've got over 700 locations here in the US. And then junk haulers, waste collection services, there's over 8,000 of these in our target markets that would benefit from our licensing. Not to mention, if we obtain 2% of this market, that would bring another $16.9 million of revenue. After we successfully launch our licensing agreements, we will seek the acquisition of our 4 brick-and-mortar locations. Why are we attractive to be acquired by a large waste management system? Well, we save them so much money. From trips to the landfill, we're saving fuel, and of course, the most valuable thing, saving room in our landfills. Most recently, a Vermont company called Casella, you might have heard of them, acquired a company in Northwest New York for $2.5 million. So if we could sell our 4 locations for $2.5, we would have an exit of over $10 million while still keeping our licensing options. Now my favorite part, the team. Hey, you guys, yeah, the team. We've been focused. So 50% of our current workforce is made up of new American and BIPOC community members. As we grow and expand, our goal is to keep this the way it is. Our mission is to expand and invest in hard-to-hire communities. And they ask, we're looking for $600,000. What this is going to do, this is going to cure our inefficiencies on the back end, and we're going to open up 3 new locations. So I promise, folks, if you partner with me and recycle well, you're going to sleep well, too. Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Okay, judges, I'm assuming you have a question or two.
Have at it.
Great job.
Thank you.
Love the intro, too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was scary.
It sounds like you have a double-sided marketplace. Your customers who have mattresses are paying you, but you didn't talk about who you're selling the materials to. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely, yeah. So our refuse, from the 4 basic items that we get, foam, textiles, metal, and wood, the foam gets sold to a company that turns it into carpet underlay. They're out of Arizona. And same with the toppers, same company. And then the metal goes locally to a metal hauler, and the wood gets turned into chips or goes to the McNeil plant to make energy.
So I just have a question about your cost structure. Can you just give a brief outline of where you are in terms of your cost today and cost projected against this $20, $25 competitive barrier?
Absolutely. It costs us about $4.75 to have one of our guys rip up a mattress. Then we have our warehouse fees, very minuscule dump costs, and then transportation for our residential and commercial pickups that we do offer. So right now we're netting close to $17 per mattress out of that usual 25. But it does vary. Our prices that we charge customers does vary.
So I'm curious about the licensing model as a piece of your revenue. Do you have any examples of that that you've closed that are under contract? And if so, give me an example of where you're going to...
No, not yet. Our goal is kind of to keep the direct operator thing going and usurp more of the market here in the Northeast and get into the Midwest a little bit. And once we really hone in our processes, then we'd be able... We do have some IP and machinery that we've built here in Vermont, but we really want to learn a little bit more in different markets, bigger markets, before we start licensing. And then I have looked at some models as far as that goes.
And the team. So we know a little bit about who you are and what your background is. How about the rest of the team?
Yeah, so my right-hand man, Rob, he runs the show. I went to college with him. And then a lot of our workforce are new American people, some college kids. We've had formerly incarcerated folks, and we really are focusing on those demographics for labor because they need jobs. They need a way to get going when they come into the States. And are you about to gong me? No. Okay. And, okay. Yeah.
So my quick question is, where do you want to get your money from? How do you want debt? Do you want to sell stock? What do you
Well,
sell
initially,
ownership?
I just jumped into this because I thought it'd be a heck of a good time. And why not ask for some money? But we always thought that grants would be, and state or Fed funding would be the way that we would go. because there are a lot of opportunities for diversion.
So you're a nonprofit?
No.
Okay.
All right. Well done.
There you go. Thanks, Tom.
Really well done.
Appreciate you.
You know, Josh, I'm just here for the party too. I can relate. Excellent. Not bad, huh? Good start? Wow. All right, let's move on to number 2. This is a company called Tacitly. Y'all set to go? Okay, you are. Please say hello to Jeff Desjardins.
Your child is in the hospital. They can't breathe due to anaphylactic shock. The nurse responsible for saving their life has no idea where to find the epinephrine. Why did I start Tacitly? A year ago, I met Kayla, a traveling nurse specializing in pediatric care. Every 13 weeks, when she rotates to a new hospital, she's got to learn a new code card. And every time the lockout tag on a code card is cracked, it costs the hospital $5,000 to recheck, resupply, and reseal. Did you know 80% of code blues result in failures to rescue? That's over 200,000 people that die in the hospital each year. What if there was a way that we could take that 80% of code blues and just reduce it by 5% through enhanced training? We'd be saving over 10,000 lives each year. Introducing Code Card XR, our life-saving solution that allows nurses to become code card confident. It eliminates the logistical issues that hospital training faces, such as instructor availability, scheduling constraints, and lack of training spaces. Our process starts with a nurse like Kayla putting on an extended reality headset. She then trains until she knows that cart like the back of her hand. And when she's ready, she takes a traceability test that's sent to her administrator to let them know Kayla is code cart confident. Over the last 2 months, we beta tested Code Card XR with 60 healthcare participants. 95% reported an improved comprehension on code card contents and faster object retrieval speed. A study from Maine Health found that code card gamification results in 106 seconds faster completion of scenarios. That 106 seconds, that's the difference between life and death. But that study was done on a physical code card. Do you know how hard it was to bring this up from Rutland? Imagine how many of these I could have brought instead. Now, there's almost 80,000 facilities in the US that have code cards, but we're focusing our early energy on the 1,000 teaching hospitals because they train a lot of nurses, they have a lot of code cards, and they're open to innovation. By year 5, we should have more than 250 of these teaching hospitals, training 25,000 nurses nationwide. This will generate tacitly $25 million in annual recurring revenue. In this first year, we're already partnering up with regional networks like UVM, where we're collaborating on a grant to provide each one of their nursing students with the Code Card XR platform. And we're creating digital twins of Dartmouth's pediatric, adult, and neonatal code cards. By year 3, we'll target the largest healthcare networks in the US to expand our reach from a single point of contact. Just capturing 2 of these networks will allow us to exceed our goal of 250 hospitals. Now, the possibilities with XR training are limitless. Code Card XR is just the beginning. When we went to Dartmouth and we asked, what is one of the most important pieces of equipment nurses should learn? They said, the defib. When we asked nursing students graduating in a week, what is the one thing you didn't have the chance to learn? They said, IV. Coincidentally, all of these things can be found on a code card. So we're working on a suite of add-on modules to tie into the same sales pipeline, allowing us to increase our revenue and our impact as we roll out. In year 1, we're rolling out Code Card XR to 10 hospitals, And by year 5, when we release IVXR, we'll have 250 hospitals using our platform and a team of 100 people in the Tacitly office in Rutland, Vermont. Now, the Tacitly team is a powerhouse. As CEO, I successfully exited my last venture with the sale of 2 patents and a trademark. Bill Cooker, our Chief Technology Officer, he co-founded a public company where he led a team of programmers for 10 years. Bill took that company from a little startup and he grew it into a massive global success, and he's hungry to do it again. But we need to build a sales arm. So we're seeking a $1.5 million investment to fuel Tacitly's growth. $250,000 of this has already been soft-circled. This will go into sales and marketing, R&D, and infrastructure, giving us 3 years of runway. Together, let's help nurses like Kayla know that code card like the back of her hand. So next time she's in a code blue emergency, she'll know exactly where to find the epinephrine. Thank you for your time.
All right, Jeff, thanks. Judges, do you have some questions?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Yes, there we go. All right, so how do you make money?
So we sell our software package to the hospitals. Our license fee is $1,000 per nurse per year. We anticipate 100 nurses per facility, so that should be about $100,000 annual license per facility.
And have you tested that price with the hospitals that you're talking to?
Yeah, so out of the hospitals we visited, that seems like a good price. We're in the process of getting an LOI with Dartmouth, so we're in the process of doing that.
I want to know a little bit about your competition and much larger organizations in the medical institution saying we have a risk here, we have a cost here, and we're going to fix that. How do you protect yourselves from that?
Oh, totally. We have 2 patents in the work and also in the works, and most of the stuff we found on site are like really expensive machines that only train on one thing. With our solution, we can train on multiple pieces of equipment, so it makes us like more competitive. Instead of just spending like $100,000 on a simulator that trains on one device, you could train on infinite devices with our solution.
Let's talk a little bit about the hardware and the headset. Is there any requirement in terms of Wi-Fi, internet access? Are there any issues or complications on site in the hospital?
So currently, you don't need Wi-Fi to use our program, but in the future with tracking, we're going to want to implement that. And out of the hospitals we visited, their Wi-Fi signal wasn't good, so we're going to offer 5G with our solution so that it's like turnkey.
So you've actually built the software at this point?
Yeah.
And how'd you fund that?
So when I exited my last company, I put it all into Tacitly and bootstrapped it, and now we're in the process of raising some money. So it's been about 6 months as a team that we've been building the software.
So it looks to me like you're approaching one hospital at a time, trying to scale that. Have you thought about approaching a large insurance company?
That's a great idea. That's actually one thing we've discussed. We're going to try to get the pilot programs launched first to kind of validate it and make sure people love it, and then target like maybe insurance companies or networks because the cost of a malpractice claim is pretty high. So insurance companies would be a good possible candidate.
If we have time, what's the decision-making process like in these hospitals in terms of taking you on?
Oh, there's multiple stakeholders, so it takes time for us to build a relationship. It's not like you just go in there and have them write you a check. We've been in talks with these stakeholders, and they have to talk to their stakeholders, and it takes some time. So it's a decision process that has multiple people that make the decision.
What are your thoughts about
Yeah, go ahead.
Now I've forgotten. Senior moment. I've forgotten, but I'll you afterwards.
Wow, saved by the gong. Dude. Hey, Jeff, great job.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
We knew that gong would be fun, but didn't expect that. Wow. How y'all doing out there? You doing okay? Can you guys hear everybody okay? Okay, great. All right, here we go. Number 3 is coming up. This is a company called Purple Couch. Say hello to Sarah Lyman.
So after my divorce, I was settling into my new apartment and I was shopping for a couch. I'm scrolling through the options and realizing I'm settling for the neutral colors my ex would have liked. And I was like, wait a minute, no one else needs input on this frickin' couch. So I got the one I wanted, a gorgeous velour purple couch. And I named my business after it because it was in that moment that I started to reframe from failed marriage into fresh start. Divorce is confusing, it's complicated. We're making major life decisions, legal, financial, co-parenting, on this emotional roller coaster. And with 2,000 divorces every day in the United States, all I could think was, there's got to be a better way. I'm Sarah Lyman, and I founded Purple Couch a little over a year ago to provide a place for information vetted from a whole spectrum of divorce professionals. Our flagship product is an asynchronous online video course we call Fresh Start. For $329, students hear from a financial planner, a tax preparer, a divorce attorney, child psychologist, couples and family therapist. Their information is good for folks anywhere in the United States, and we supplement with state-specific information as well. Together, this team, we are on a mission to break down the shame and stigma around divorce. I have 2 decades of experience in communications, and as one of my post-divorce fresh starts, I picked up watercolor painting. And what you see here and on my website is an intentional contrast to the gavel banging and broken wedding rings that you see on other support sites. Students emerge from a Purple Couch course understanding the whole process of divorce and the options in front of them. They may still need to meet one-on-one with an attorney or a financial planner, but they're so much better prepared to find one that meets their needs. And this can save thousands and thousands of dollars in litigation if it's not needed. Purple Couch is a community. Total strangers come together online and in person to normalize their divorce experiences. And we know that communities of color and queer communities have added layers of financial and cultural ramifications to their divorce. People are buying this course for their friends and loved ones because it feels like a tangible way to help when it feels like there's not much else we can do. So I can tell you from experience, if you're going through a divorce, it's gonna take a lot of Lizzo. So I invite you to my Spotify playlist. Registrations from our beta rollout 2 courses have already covered production costs, and we're on track to double revenue by the end of this year. Thanks. But the impact, I think, is deeper than that, right? One student in our finances course said, when did I stop dreaming? Another person came to an event we ran in the fall. She came here in Burlington. She came all the way from Maine. And it's bringing business to Vermont divorce professionals as well, who say they really like having Purple Couch students because they're so much better informed right in the gate. This is the power of information coupled with compassion and community. We're unique out there. You can go see a divorce coach or hire a private judge. These are very expensive one-on-one experiences. On the other end of the spectrum, you can e-file your divorce papers through a company like divorce.com, or you can wade through the literal millions and millions of divorce articles that are out there, and more every day, thanks to ChatGPT. We need Purple Couch and our real human experts now more than ever. We are providing an affordable, vetted experience from people who have been through it together in community. So our lifetime value for customers, they come and take a course. They come back and attend an event. And much later in their experience, they return again to buy a course for someone else in their lives. So this asynchronous online video course, this model of one to many is built for scale. And we're already talking about scaling to employee wellness programs in an enterprise level. So our target customers are middle-aged or middle-income folks around 30 and up. And they represent about 50% of the divorce marketplace, which is about $55 billion. But what if we think even bigger? What if Purple Couch led a culture shift where we make it the norm to support our people in their divorce the way we supported them when they got married? Our big vision is to build a divorce gift registry. Imagine, if you could, if you literally shower people with gifts at their wedding, but it's when they are splitting that household that they really need another toaster, right? You see, the business opportunity here is to look at divorce not as a single transaction, but as a whole spectrum of community and support. We've seen how this works in the wedding industry. It's big business. So I am here today to ask a pre-seed $350,000 round. We will use the amazing sales talent here in Vermont to leverage numbers, of course, for customer growth, but also to get the data we need to test assumptions and make decisions. We are ready to help 1,500 folks by the end of, in the next 18 months, and pull in about 1.6 million in the next 3 years. And if we are, when we're ready for this next round of investment to support this divorce gift registry, we're going to blow the roof off these numbers. So what will it take to break down the shame and stigma around divorce? It starts when we help other folks find their own Purple Couch moment. Thank you.
Oh. Sarah, I don't think that last word made it.
Purple Couch moments. There it is. Thank you.
Oh, that was good. That was really good. All right, judges.
Great vision. Would not have thought about a divorce registry, but it's a pretty good idea. Question about your team and how they are compensated and where that plays into your margins for the business.
Yeah, well, this is why it's wonderful to start this type of business in Vermont. Some of these folks have been compensated. Others are seeing this as part of the bigger vision of breaking down the shame and stigma around divorce. Not surprising for a beta rollout. We see, as we move down the road, a more robust compensation structure. That could be initial, per diem or per hour, or it could be on a referral type of compensation basis as well.
Nice presentation, thank you.
You.
I have a question around your revenue objectives. Do you have revenue already, and do you have a sense of your cost of goods and what that margin is today, what's been demonstrated today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So being an online business, we sell an online video course. So there's actually not a ton of upfront production costs, and I do all the video editing myself. That can change as I grow. So once we have the initial investment, and as I said, we've currently covered those production costs, every course sale is cash. Of course, we have some fixed costs like website hosting and things like that. Right now, those numbers are looking really good for the end of this year. And as we grow, we want to do more courses, so that's going to be more. Again, it's a variable cost that we have a lot of control over. Same with the events.
Your online course, is it built on a proprietary platform or using an LMS, some sort of standard platform?
Yeah, so I build all the video, so I own all the content 100%, and it's uploaded to a platform called Kajabi, which is just a course platform.
So you can talk about, so you have one video.
Two.
Or two videos. Okay, so what's the plans to expand that offering? Because kind of a one trick pony.
One and done.
Yeah, one and done.
Absolutely. And this is why I'm so excited for this next round of our business, is to put some money into, say, Google AdWords to get eyeballs on our site so we can see where the interest is. So producing multiple courses in various content. So I already have a finances course that's very small and very focused. I can do the same for co-parenting and children of divorcing parents and parents of divorcing children. And there's just so many impacts, how to be the best ally to someone in your life doing that. So those are the types of things we can add, test, iterate. Is it the right price point? Is it the right length? And then longer in the cycle of support, how to be an ally to someone else in your life. And that's where I think this sort of flywheel will really come into place.
So I have a question about the legal industry and the guild. And it's a guild. And how have you thought about how you're going to protect yourself from other businesses that have come out of here and been attacked by lawyers because they're offering legal advice online?
It's a great question. I'll try to keep it super quick. The attorneys and the other folks that give information are very clear. It's not advice, and because it's one-to-many, we're not giving specific information for one person. So I feel very confident that is a very robust way to teach about divorce, and everyone is very transparent about, if you want specific information for your case, that's an attorney. That's when you bring in one-on-one.
All right.
Thank you.
Done, Sarah.
Thank you.
That's excellent.
Thank you.
How come when she said divorce, all the eyes went up? It's like, oh, I'm interested in that. That's not good. All righty, let's go. Number, 4 coming up here. This is a business called Dandelion. Please say hi to Ashley Farland.
Dandelion, what today's luxury looks like. There's a great quote. Quality is remembered long after price is forgotten. How true. Unless, of course, you're buying a $10,000 sports coat from Catan. That one you might always remember. But in truth, here lies the problems. Ultra quality, ultra high prices. Mid-range, cookie cutter, and bargain, well, shoddy quality, bound for landfills. None of these are sustainable. Why can't high quality, beautiful product with sustainable values be available to us at a reasonable price? They can, and they are. Hi, I'm Ashley Farland, founder of Dandelion. I'm a chef by training. I chefed at Michelin-starred restaurants in New York City, and I served as a private chef for many luxury-bound families. And in those homes, I was exposed to the most exquisite products. I fell in love. I wanted them. I couldn't afford them. So, being a fourth-generation Vermonter, I decided I would make them. I got in my car, moved back to Vermont, worked for 2 years as a professional sewist to start Dandelion. Dandelion makes beautiful products for the home using 3 basic principles. High quality, sustainable values at a reasonable price. How do we do it? We use 100% dead stock from designer fabrics. See, these designers have trained their customers to expect new and fresh things every season. They end up with surplus. At the end of the surplus, those surpluses need to go to either expensive warehouses or be thrown to landfills. They're happy to sell them to us. They're happy to sell them to us that they sell them to us at 30 cents on the dollar. 90% of our dead stock is sourced right here in the US. Oops. To date, we're going to get both. To date, 1,000 yards has been saved from landfills. And as part of a circular supply chain, we take our scraps, donate them to local businesses, who then turn them into insulation. And where else would this come from? Then Vermont. This is a fun fact. Dandelion, okay, Ralph Lauren started with neckties. Dandelion starting with a pillow. Okay, so these are our luxury competitors. We might not have a name yet, but we have some things they don't. They are not making their product in the US. We are. We're a fraction of the price of these luxury brands. In fact, Laura Piana, a pillow runs $1,875. Ralph Lauren, wool pillow, runs $795. In comparison, we are $325. Some might call us a bargain. Some might not. But most importantly, we're sustainably focused. As a young company, we are able to build sustainability into our model. Unlike these large competitors who need time to rework their supply chains and processes. And the icing on the cake, well, 66%, 2/3 of customers are looking for these products. They are looking for sustainably produced products. That's a win for everyone. Okay, so we have a great product and we're reasonably priced, but how are we going to find our customer? We're finding our customer through partnerships with other big businesses, retailers, designers, hospitality. Right now, we're in 5 stores in the country. Our largest store in Jackson Hole has ordered 400 pillows in 8 months. That's a lot. Due to the success of our pillows in their store. So it's multiple turns. Interior designers. One has already identified us for their project at South Fork Lodge in Idaho, one of the most prestigious fly fishing lodges in the country. Last week, he did an install, 150 pillows of ours. That's great branding, and they're paying us. Jimmy Kimmel. Okay. And from that success, we are definitely targeting more hospitality, and we are just getting started. So far, so good. In less than 1 year, we have secured multiple wholesale accounts, built relationships with our supply chains, and built an e-commerce platform, Dandelion.design. Where are we going? We're building a brand. We're building a lifestyle brand. We are already producing beautiful, unique wooden products, extending our pillow collection to include blankets, and partnering with like-minded makers who share our ethos. They share our sustainability and our quality and reasonable prices. Okay. Although I do wear all these hats, I have had tremendous amount of people who have helped me build this to where we are today. Pat Satner, I have no idea where you are, but she's an amazing, the most talented sewist I've ever worked with. And she's been with us from the start, but we need more talent like her. Dandelion has already proven a concept that works. Now we need to scale. We're asking for $750,000 to be put into 3 parts. We need raw material. We need local manufacturing, and we need sales and marketing. Everyone needs a little luxury in their life, so go ahead, indulge. With Dandelion, you can have the finer things in life guilt-free. Woo! Oh! Thank you.
Ashley!
Whoa!
Nice.
You have no idea where we came from.
Nice. Remember I said I was worried a few days ago?
Oh, it was me, exclusively.
No, well, not exclusively, but you did a great job.
I was
You did a great job. All right, judges.
I'm ready for you.
So that was great. Same question I asked some of the other ones. Tell me about your cost structure a little bit, about your sourcing a little bit.
Sure.
Is it all domestic? Do you have the names of the companies that you're going to buy from and so on?
Well, I can't provide the names, but I mean, I could. Okay, so supply chains, we're actually identifying them tighter now. We have one in the US, comes from Chicago. That's where most of our supplies are coming from now. And that's our margins for wholesale, 30 to 40%. we're doing for interior designers, about 55%, and then direct to customers, 75%. Those are great. Good margins. Okay, go ahead.
Talk a little bit about, you had mentioned one particular sewer who you gave a shout out
Pat
to.
Satner.
Pat. So talk about compensation and how you anticipate growing that team if this product, for example, the pillow product grows. How are you going to compensate? And are those jobs being created in Vermont?
Absolutely. So conscious consumerism is growing, so they're willing to pay for, they understand that what we're doing here is a movement. And, well, you know, other companies who are going off seas, I obviously have to bring my prices to a place. But people are actually understanding that. They're connecting dots now. So I'll always keep it here. My compensation's fair, very fair. It's per piece right now. It's per piece right now. But, I mean, it could easily, that could fold right into a labor. I mean, it's hourly is where I want to go. I can't afford to do hourly right now. So I do per piece when I can afford.
Tell me about
But it's actually going to become more attractive when it becomes labor. You know, when it comes in hourly, and we can do like a multiple, we can do actually, you know, what's it called? We'll go to the next question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just quickly,
it's more attractive.
Quickly, marketing channels. Tell me about D2C, the website. Have you had any tests? What are you learning from your online?
So we launched in November, and I haven't had much time to develop the marketing to get the direct customer. But in all the stores, we have our tag, and we're actually getting a lot of visibility out west. So those customers are coming, and they've recently come. The last 2 months, I've seen traction on our website, which is great.
What's your next critical hire for this company?
Chief marketing. We need chief marketing. I think I can run my position for another little bit, and then I see us going big. So I really think that we're going to have a lot of critical people in the C-suite, and then I'm going to be the vision behind this. Thank you.
Woo! Ashley, I need that clicker. Why'd you have to go and fire her up like that? Wow. All righty. Geez, we're already halfway done. That is hard to believe. Everybody doing okay? All right. After 4 more, give you a break, get a drink, and we'll make decisions. It's going to be great. All right, coming up next, this is a company called Core 360. Say hi to Lex Osler.
My name is Lex Osler. I'm a co-founder of Core 360. Everybody sits, and they sit a lot, on average for 10 hours a day. But sitting is the new smoking. Numerous studies have shown that sitting increases the risk of heart disease, diabetes, obesity, and cancer. And standing all day is twice as bad as sitting. Additionally, back pain costs Americans over $100 billion every year. 80% of the people in this room have suffered from or are currently dealing with back pain. The cause of all this misery is conventional Western chairs. In cultures that don't use chairs and sit in more traditional ways, they have almost no back pain, such as in Vietnam or parts of India. Japan used to have incredibly low back pain rates when they sat on the floor or kneeled. Now their back pain rates are almost identical to the US. What changed? They switched to modern office chairs. These so-called ergonomic chairs give us the headrest, the backrest, the armrest, and of course the lumbar support. All this results in is poor posture, core muscle atrophy, and inactivity. This is a recipe for back pain and sitting disease. The solution is something we call active sitting. Our patented mechanism allows the seat to move in all directions. This improves posture, engages the core musculature, increases metabolism, improves mental focus. It's the healthiest way to sit on the market. This is what we're up against. Big chair. Similar to big tobacco and big sugar, it is in these multi-billion-dollar corporations' interest to sell you something that's killing you. These are the top 3 players in the office furniture space: Herman Miller, Knoll, Steelcase. What do you notice about all 3 of their flagship office chairs? They're all exactly the same. And they've been that way for over a century. This industry is ready for a revolution. We've sold over 11,000 chairs. Our Ariel chair won the 2020 International A Design Award. We've shipped to over 60 countries. We have distributors in Korea, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Taiwan. Our chairs are being used at companies like Google, LinkedIn, and Airbnb. We have over 10 patents and trademarks. We've been featured in the Wall Street Journal, and we've been interviewed on NPR. The University of Waterloo is currently conducting a study on our chair, and preliminary findings are showing that our chair increases metabolism by up to 30% and improves productivity when compared to a Herman Miller Aeron chair. We only sell direct to consumer, and for half the price of big chair. 35% of our sales are from word of mouth, which is the gold standard for any company. We have a growing network of affiliates, and MDs, doctors, chiropractors, and PTs all recommend our chairs to their patients. We only have a 5% return rate, even though we offer a full money-back guarantee and free return shipping. We have a 50% gross margin. We have thousands of happy customers all around the world and hundreds of testimonials. But here are just 2. Karen says, "You might be interested to know that my original back surgery was scheduled for this coming Monday. I have now canceled my surgery because your chair has totally removed my back pain." This is not an isolated incident. We've heard this story numerous times where a customer has had debilitating chronic back pain, and their only solution was to have surgery. In a last-ditch effort, they bought our chair, and it helped them so much that they were able to avoid surgery entirely. Christopher says, "I did initially wonder about the wisdom of spending money on a seat that would not allow me to relax, but it has proved to be a very wise investment. My posture has improved noticeably." He continues, "My wife is also a fan because it has done wonders for my glutes. Apparently the way to a woman's heart is through tight buns, even if they are on a 70-year-old ass." That's a real testimonial. So our chair can not only improve your posture, it can improve your marriage. We have deep Vermont roots. We have suppliers from all over Vermont that make parts for our chairs, and they come together at our facility, MSI, in Morrisville, Vermont, where every single chair is assembled, boxed, and shipped. I love that we're taking money from outside the state, even outside the country, and putting it back into Vermont. My co-founder is also my father, Dr. Turner Osler, who was a trauma surgeon for over 30 years. He has 300 peer-reviewed publications on his CV and a master's in biostatistics. My name is Lex. I graduated from Cornell University with a degree in computational biology, and I was on track to be a doctor. But as my father says, you can only help a few thousand people in your career as a doctor. With this, we could help millions. I'm incredibly proud of the team we've assembled. They are talented and truly believe in what we're doing. Many of them are from Vermont, and some of them are in the crowd here tonight. We could not do this without them. Last year was our best year to date. We did $1.5 million in revenue, and this year we're on track for $2.5 million. We are already profitable. We have proven that there is a market and that our chair genuinely helps people. Now, we're ready for growth. We're seeking $2 million to pour gasoline on the fire that we've already lit. This would go towards marketing, R&D, a direct sales team that would go B2B, and manufacturing. We don't want to be a one-trick pony. We're envisioning an entire ecosystem built around a healthier work environment. We're asking you to give us it. And one more thing. We designed and patented an app that uses an accelerometer embedded in the chair to measure movement and calculate caloric expenditure. Imagine if your chair could track your health metrics in real time and show you how they're improving. We plan on integrating this with Apple Watch and Fitbit in the near future. This app is the first of its kind. We are building the future, and I hope you can be a part of it. Thank you.
Lex, nice job. Does your dad know you would say ass right in front of this crowd?
What the parents don't know won't hurt them.
They're watching online. All right, judges.
So I have a bunch of questions. I guess I want to ask a question about your new product design. You say you're going to develop a bunch of new products. Tell me about that capacity. Do you have an R&D person? Do you have a prototyping facility?
We have R&D people. We have engineers that have worked for us for a while. We have a very good relationship with them. You know, we have a lot of stuff that we're currently working on that I don't really want to talk about right now, but it's very cool. We have a long working relationship with the people that we have, that some of them are here tonight, and they're very good. We've come a very long way from where we started, and it's just through iteration and design, so we're very confident going forward.
Talk about your customers. What percentage are group larger buyers who buy in bulk versus individual consumers?
The vast majority are individuals. We have had bulk orders to companies, of course, but mostly it's to individuals. And the reason for that is there are some regulations by ergonomicists in certain companies, depending on the size. Smaller companies, we have an easier time. Larger companies, we have a harder time. Because you know, it has to have a backrest. You can't sit all day without a backrest. This is not true. We have thousands of customers all around the world that sit every day in our chair without a backrest, so it's just not true. But their ergonomicists that they pay say you can't, and so they don't want our chair. So it's much easier for a customer to just make the decision for themselves. You know, I've had the regular office chair. It's killing my back. I need something. I'm just buying it with my own money.
So you can talk a little bit about the manufacturing process. So right now you're working with MSI. Am I understanding that correctly? Are they actually manufacturing them, or are you getting parts and you're assembling them?
So there are parts that we get, and they're all shipped to MSI.
Yep.
You know, so like this part here. This is made by the Treehouse. This is injection molded in Milton. These covers are from Queen City Dry Goods, and they all culminate at our facility MSI,
Yep.
and they're all put together, and the seat is assembled there,
Yep.
and these other parts are put in the box with it, and then it's all boxed and shipped from there.
So you are raising capital to create your own manufacturing facility, or are you going to still work with a third party?
No, we would almost certainly work with a third party because MSI has
Okay.
the ability to scale. They work with some enormous companies.
Right. Okay, good to know. So what do your margins look like on these products?
So it's a 50% margin. So we sell it for $500. Costs us about $250 all told. So that would be parts, assembly, boxing, shipping.
So all your direct costs. So I have a question about about data. You had suggested you were working with a university. Do you have hard data, or will you have hard data that shows a trend or a value proposition in terms of real medical benefit and pain benefit?
So that's going on right now. So we don't have any influence over that. We just provide the chairs and they run with it. The preliminary data that they're giving us shows that it does improve productivity when compared to a Herman Miller Aeron chair, and the metabolism is higher in our chair than a Herman Miller chair. And they're measuring a few other things as well, but the results are good so far. And we think that they'll be published and have a few papers come out of it.
Well done. I apologize for Lauren. That's crazy.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Really.
Thank you.
I'm going to feel terrible when I sit in my office chair.
Thank you.
She's defending herself. Never mind. Okay, moving right along. Our next company is Dairy Dirt. Say hi to Brendan O'Brien.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for being here. My name is Brendan O'Brien, and I am a resource recovery scientist and co-founder of Dairy Dirt, a recycled nutrient company with a debut natural product for your yard we call lawn fiber. Meet my neighbor Noah, who I recently observed spreading chopped straw over a freshly seeded area of his lawn. Anyone else here have a lawn? Go ahead and raise your hand. Enjoy spending time on the grass at the park? Go ahead and put yours up too. Enjoy the green, open, grassy spaces in your communities? Come on, raise them up. That's wonderful, because look around. That is literally all of us. And it's no surprise, because lawns are central to our cities, towns, and neighborhoods for the social value they provide. They give us a sense of breadth and freedom while providing endless opportunities to come together and connect with other people. So if you share these values, which I know that you do, then you are a benefactor of this $30 billion annual market, and maybe one of the millions of Americans who together spent more than $11 billion last year on consumable lawn care products in this growing industry. And if you're lucky enough to own a lawn, then you may have found yourself in Noah's shoes, spreading chopped straw or possibly peat moss over a freshly seeded area of grass to protect the seeds from hungry birds and retain moisture. But straw and peat are devoid of the essential nutrients for healthy germination and lush growth, like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, known together as NPK. So you may have also purchased an additional mineral fertilizer product to help promote that growth for an additional cost and time of application. And like Noah, you may have been reluctant, expressing concern for the lake, he said, identifying the link between nutrient-laden runoff and an increase in harmful algae blooms that have closed beaches, harmed pets, and affected public health throughout the Lake Champlain Basin and elsewhere. So what Noah wants, we all need: a more sustainable solution in a single package. We need Dairy Dirt's lawn fiber, a 2-for-1 functional solution that offers organic matter for moisture retention and additional nutrients for improved growth. Because this shit works. Lawn fiber's competitive advantage over peat and straw is apparent just 2 weeks after planting. Guess which plots received lawn fiber? Yep, that's right. And after 6 weeks of growth, the results are even more impressive. We blow the competition away. Take it from our satisfied customers. This shows how one used lawn fiber to transform the most damaged patch of their lawn in late November to the area with the lushest, greenest growth the following May. And with results like these, it is no wonder we have sold out our sales trials with glowing customer reviews across the board. And we should do this here, because we already are. Lawn fiber is a byproduct of anaerobic digestion on dairy farms, and Vermont has 16 of the 29 operational digesters in New England, which lower the carbon footprint of dairies by capturing and burning methane biogas for renewable energy. The digestion process transforms the raw manure feedstock to concentrate nutrients, kill pathogens, and produces a safe, pleasant-smelling organic byproduct that is the raw material for lawn fiber. And conveniently, where we produce lawn fiber is located to one of the most concentrated markets for lawn and turf grass cultivation in the contiguous United States, the northeast suburban Atlantic coast. And with the mining of peat moss and non-renewable mineral fertilizers widely considered to be environmentally bankrupt, and straw an imported commodity, Dairy Dirt's lawn fiber offers a 2-in-1 functional solution to offset these extractive industries by providing organic matter and nutrients in a single product. And our customers love it because it works better and it saves them time and money by reducing or eliminating the need for additional mineral fertilizers. Lawn fiber is cost competitive with straw and peat moss without the price volatility associated with these seasonally harvested crops. Excuse me. Our finished product is available year-round. And with our current small batch model, we clear a 40% wholesale margin. With a 2 cubic foot bag we produce for $4.50 and sell wholesale to retailers for $7.50, clearing $3 for ourselves with increased margins projected at scale. At a competitive retail price of $14.99 a bag, we attract and incentivize retail partners with a 50% retail margin on every bag sold. To grow, we will scale our production and invest heavily in sales and marketing to target independently run retail outlets that can offer the highest quality products and service, like our co-founder Terry Therrien's chain of Mackey stores and others like Ace Hardware. Investing further in new product development, trade show presence, and ultimately our own centralized processing facility, we can scale beyond New England into the tri-state area to stock lawn fiber wherever Jonathan grass seed products are sold. With a new product debuted, we will be positioned to capture $5.5 million in projected revenue by the end of our 5th year, with new regional markets to enter. Because remember, we can scale this model of success to infiltrate new regional markets across the US and transport Dairy Dirt from a regional brand to a household name. And we have the team to do it. With a $500,000 investment, we can scale our production, increase our sales and marketing, reinforce our supply chain, and invest in new product development to bring other raw materials to market. So buy Dairy Dirt. This shit works.
Now, wait a minute. That didn't count. All right, judges.
Looks like good shit, for sure.
Thank you, it is.
So you're currently getting the raw material for this product from the digesters in Vermont?
Yes.
What happens if you really do scale the way you say you're going to? Where does your supply chain look like?
Yeah, so conveniently, we have these clusters of digesters that are located very near to the market demand. So we have numerous relationships with different farmers in Vermont to scale throughout New England, but we could easily take this model and replicate it across these other regions of the United States that have this same geographic correlation.
And how are you compensating the farmers for this?
We are paying them currently to process the material on site, giving them a premium for the product. And we are currently hand bagging the material, so our margins are expected to really increase if we automate that process.
So my question is really, what are the barriers to entry to being in your business? The way you describe this, I think I might want to get into this business. How are you protecting yourself from competition? Is there competition?
Currently, there is no competition. If you Google lawn fiber, we are the only product that appears. And that is essentially our current IP, is the trademark on that namesake, lawn fiber. And these are really brand new materials. And quite frankly, a lot of people don't want to work in this space because they think it's, a little bit messy. And so these are, again, new materials that are coming on market as a source of recycled nutrients. And we're the first company to debut a product specifically for grass seed germination.
Your sales strategy, you have a member of your team who has a awareness of a retail chain, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Terry Therrien, who I wish was here with me tonight, is the retail executive of 3 Mackey's chain stores. They're all independently owned, but it's a 55-year-old family business, and his insight into the market is a real strength of our team.
Do you have any sales contracts signed at this point?
Not at this point, but there are some in the works.
What's your background and what's your core skills that you bring to the table?
I have a master's degree in natural resources, and I did my thesis work on basically quantifying the value of these anaerobic digester residuals, specifically for this purpose. And I have a variety of peer-reviewed publications that go into some other value-added applications that I won't specifically talk about at this time, but they're really exciting.
What's your strength?
My strength?
Yeah.
I think that my strength is in the technical background and also, as a Vermonter, building these relationships with the farms. The network of farmers is really a result of the thesis work I previously completed.
So my question is really around your manufacturing process. It sounds like you're just in pilot run right now. What are your plans in manufacturing? I saw it on your scale up.
Yeah, so that's what we're looking for money for. We're trying to scale to complete a fall run with a partner organization that has that infrastructure already in place to meet the fall demand. Thank you.
Brendan, great job.
Thanks a lot, Tom. Cheers. Appreciate it.
All right, we are getting there quickly tonight. Our next company, it's the gong. It's freaking everybody out every time I notice. Yeah, it wakes them up, I will tell you that. Next company is called Logic. Please say hello to Jason Van Nest.
Thank you, sir. Hi, I'm Jason Van Nest. I'm a Yale-trained architect and founder at Logic Building Systems. We're passionate about finding ways to build quicker, better, and smarter. Our first product line asks, why are we building the critical components of our home the same way we did 100 years ago? All these inefficiencies of supply and labor are why site-built kitchens cost more per square foot than cars. It's why Americans are priced out of affordable housing. What if we built kitchens the same way that we built high-quality cars? That could make upmarket features, well, affordable, right? It could make craftsmanship accessible. It could do all this and drive down prices. Logic can deliver this. We're doing the same thing for bathrooms. Inside, we use all the same high-quality fixtures that users have come to expect, but in a panelized architectural shell. Under waterproof wallpaper, 12 interlocking panels, they sit there and replace 1,000 screws and hours of tape and mud and sand and paint, right? We assemble these on shipping pallets. We lift them with the same equipment that's already on job sites, and we position them with standard pallet jacks. Now, at that point, we're developing IP around two key improvements that you won't see in this competitor's photo. Logic blocks are made plug and play, so you can start cooking Thanksgiving dinner just 5 minutes after we lower the mod. And when we lower the mod, we won't use these janky attachments. Those damage the product. When you see the big picture in modular today, you see that no one is actually doing any manufacturing. All the existing processes are conventional construction indoors. You can't reinvent your assembly line for every customer's new project. That kills your margin, right? And you can't assemble all of these mods with redundant fixtures because that kills or explodes your build times. Those problems with our competition essentially put folks in the wrong part of this graph. We see a huge market opportunity for the company that can combine the discipline of bringing a modular product catalog to market with the economies of scale and repetition that define value in the multifamily housing market. How big is this huge market opportunity? We're going to launch in the Northeast where, on average, $2.6 billion is spent just in kitchens and bathrooms, just in multifamily, near highways. Within 4 years, we think we can scale to get 50 million of those dollars. Those revenue projections tell the story of scaling responsibly. We're a startup. Our funding must be laser-focused on setting up a lean manufacturing rehearsal space in southern Vermont where our talent is. That's where we practice, practice, practice. We nail the product market fit and we nail the processes of manufacturing that'll help bring our product to bigger markets. Then we partner with manufacturers that have experience setting up 100,000 square foot facilities much closer to the bigger products, or bigger markets. We'll keep that partner busy with orders because multifamily developers, they want our products today. We have letters of intent from both private and public developers eager to work with us on several 60-unit ground-up projects in 3 states. Just one of these projects is enough to make us profitable. But I'd like to tell you about a parallel market demand. My old mentor leads several architectural design teams within one of the nation's largest contractors. Next year, because of COVID's effects, he's got to convert 6 Manhattan office buildings into residential floor plates. That's tens of thousands of new units, and he has to do it in a year. He's coming up to see our prototypes next month because he's got a big problem and he needs our units now. This is why developers really, all of them want to see our product in action. On the left, you're going to see a developer customer layout that's intricately managing all of those logistical issues. But on the right, you see our product layout. It's installed with just 5 site connections in the same space, right? But without any of those inefficiencies. To complete our apartment, the developer's contractor just has to finish those 2 white walls. We deliver the rest. Now, what's in it for the developers? They all profit using logic. The biggest draw is cost savings. Ha ha ha. The biggest draw is the cost savings. They can save $1 million on a 60 dwelling unit project. And better yet, you see all that yellow? That's all their complexity and logistical nightmares just sort of outsourced to logic. We figure we can hit a 74% gross profit. So I'm Jason Van Est. I have over 15 years experience designing these buildings and also 5 years experience in the modular for hospitality space where previous NDAs and some non-competes have now expired. My partner, Jim Verzino, has advised scores of startups specializing in operations and entrepreneurial finance. We've attracted advisors that have plenty of experience in the manufacturing space, and we have investors already that understand startups and our customers. Our asks are that there's room in our leadership team for another manufacturing expert, but one who's excited to crack open the prop tech space. Also, we opened our seed funding round to bridge to early profitability, but we're looking for funders to build another bridge. You know, we have the classic problem that everyone wants to be our second customer, so we're looking for that visionary, smaller scale developer who gets value and maybe some equity from joining us. At Logic, we can fix these problems. Please join us.
All right.
Judges.
I would guess you guys have some questions.
Sweet.
Can you hear me? Yeah. So I guess my first one comes to manufacturing. Where are you? Are you manufacturing now? Do you have partners? There's an enormous amount of capital involved. Tell me where you are on that.
Right. So our investors have just shown up this month. We already have the space, 1 or 2. We have to make the final decision. We already have some suppliers already lined up. So we have what we think is about a 3-week problem of bringing our first prototype to market. I'm sorry, to fruition. And we have 6 weeks to do it before.
So you have all your drawings.
Oh yeah.
If you're doing the CNC,
I've been doing this for
you got
years.
your software set up.
Yeah. That's easy stuff.
So let's talk about labor because that's a big one.
And our competitive advantage.
Yeah, talk a little bit about labor because there's been a lot of wage pressure going on in the last couple of years and finding skilled labor or help me understand what level of skill you need to do this, how many you're thinking about hiring for this initial production.
Right. So in Vermont, it's actually pretty easy to do the oversight for these modules, right? As a result, our competitive advantage in Vermont is that we can take really low-skill labor and give them trade supervisors. We can start everybody as essentially a journeyman electrician and a journeyman plumber, and then work their way up. So it really just means that we have 1 or 2 tradesmen in our manufacturing facility that cover the bases, and then we can work our way from there. We'll pay better than general contractors and whatnot in the area.
Tell me about your training, because assuming you're going to have to train a lot of these journeymen, do you have someone on your team who will do that, and what's the kind of on?
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've installed electric panels and done a lot of plumbing myself. But when we scale large enough, we'll be happy to take on skilled trainers. But we're also right halfway between River Valley Tech and the WRCC. We are dying to partner with these facilities, the trade schools in southern Vermont.
How about sourcing of materials for these once you get to scale?
Right. So the research phase of our, before we became startup, we were a feasibility study. And the feasibility study really dug into how to supply and leverage supply chains. Some of the best product reps out there have really great tips for us, which is walk the aisles of the big box retailers and figure out which retailers, like plumbing fixtures and whatnots, are supplying the big boxers, because they're going to have tons of back orders. They're going to have tons of supply they just want to get rid of at or below cost. So a lot of our supply chain is going to leverage that at first. Wow. Are you kidding? I needed that time.
We had a solid
Thank
10
you.
seconds left.
That's what happens.
Great.
Let's see, let's do that first and that.
But, whatever. Hey, nice job.
Thanks, man.
I know. He had 10 seconds left. It was fantastic. We have one more. I can't believe how quickly this has gone. These guys, they're going to double team you this time. We've actually got a couple of guys coming out. This is a company called Plink. You may have heard. They've been around a little bit. And if you saw some of the displays going on here, you may have seen them over there too. Please say hello to Max Luthi and Luke Montgomery Smith.
Hey. Thank you, Tom. Can I just leave that here? Okay. That's just as a little prop.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Maxwell Luthi. I'm a reformed futurist. I used to advise companies like Google and the Dubai government on how to innovate for the future.
And I'm Luke Montgomery Smith, a reformed kombucherist. I'm obsessed with great taste, from creating the UK's highest awarded kombucha products to here. We are building a radically sustainable global beverage brand. Think of us as the Ben & Jerry's of hydration, if you will. And we're doing that because we became obsessed over our tiny solution to a massive problem.
It's a massive problem. It is a global problem. In over 87 countries, the top 3 sources of plastic pollution in our beaches, in our parks, in our waterways are the 3 biggest beverage companies in the world. And if that pisses you off, wait till you hear that they've held the podium for 5 years running. On top of that, it's absolute madness when we're desperately trying to lower our carbon emissions to can and bottle water and truck it around needlessly.
And ours is a beautifully simple solution. Just take a glass of water, drop a Plink in it, and boom, a delicious beverage. And because we aren't shipping water, we use 98% fewer transport emissions and contain 99% less packaging than traditional canned and bottled beverages. So, this is Plink, an effervescent electrolyte drink tablet, lovingly and meticulously crafted for great taste. Nothing artificial, packed with active electrolytes, only 15 calories and 1 gram of sugar. And everything about Plink has been engineered to be fun, from the name, the packaging, the action, the reaction, the flavors. And our launch flavors already have rave reviews online and received national plaudits, and we made history as the first non-liquid beverage to win BevNet's prestigious New Beverage Showdown.
It's the best day of my life. Don't tell my wife. So you might be thinking this is adorable and alarming. These 2 Englishmen, these naive Englishmen, have moved to America and they're trying to turn a shipping tanker, of course. They're going up against big beverage. They're trying to change the behavior of tens of millions of people. Absolutely not. We aren't trying to change behavior. We are harnessing behavior that is already changing. We are catching a wave, and that wave is the boom in hydration. Hydration and electrolytes grew 79% year on year last year. That's largely down to the growth of non-sports hydration. H2O, good old water, is in the top 5 things that Americans are trying to consume more of this year. Today, you have close to half of the US population going everywhere whenever they leave their house with their Nalgene, their Hydro Flask, their Bivo. I love Bivo. You know, in Vermont, I think it's 100% of people, to be honest. And these bottles are just waiting to be plinked, right? This is why we've seen, because of everyday hydration, we're seeing 6 times the growth in powders and tablets than we're seeing in plastic bottled sports drinks. So, where do we fit within this category? We see a gaping white space between Kool-Aid, you know, the 20th century water enhancers that literally kick down the wall to get into your house with flavor and fun,
And those super, super medicinal brands like Liquid IV, named after something you literally find in a hospital. And we take the best of both worlds, the fun, the flavor, and the function. And we call this joyful hydration. And it is landing, and we have super fans. And they are active parents in active households sharing it with their kids. And where do they shop? They still shop in stores, in grocery, so that is our current focus. And we're able to generate $1,000 of revenue per store per month with a 69% gross margin. I used to kill for a 30% gross margin, my previous beverage brand.
So how do we build this business? It's brick by brick, or I should say Plink by Plink. There is no hack. There's no customer acquisition shortcut in the beverage industry. This is about sips to lips. This is about boots on the ground. This is about getting people plinking. Shout out to Andy, who's out there right now getting people plinking. I'm sure you've seen us somewhere in Vermont. We've been very busy this summer. We're the official hydration partner of Vermont Green FC. We donate products to some wonderful nonprofits in the state. We support some wonderful athletes, some incredibly talented athletes. There's a lot of thirsty people here. And beyond the talented athletes, we're already, can you stop that for a minute? Very distracting. We're already working with the MBA program. We're working with high school students. We freaking love the Hula community. We've learned so much from you. There is some great talent here. It's crucial to us that we nurture this talent. We're going to try and recruit talent from outside of Vermont, but we're going to need it to build a global category leader.
And this is working. This grocery plus sampling, it's working. We launched in stores in mid-January. We're spending $0 on advertising, and we grew 260% from last quarter, and we are on track and forecast to maintain that momentum moving forward. And plinking ahead to the future, we have already proven viability and will expand omni-channel into e-commerce, hospitality, and offices. And as we grow, this is where it gets exciting. We are going to build a world-class innovation hub right here in Vermont, creating brilliant jobs and allowing us to iterate and build a full ecosystem of absolutely killer products.
So we aren't selfless individuals. We are building a high-margin product in a high-growth category with high potential for acquisition. The major players have literally told us they need us. They need businesses like ours to help them move beyond the bottle.
And because of people like you, we actually just found out we are outselling Noon as the best-selling hydration product locally here in Burlington. So thank you, guys. So how can you all here in this room help us today? We have opened up a note of $600,000 in which $350K has already been allocated to existing investors. So join the incredible likes of Hula and Dudley Fund and some awesome people in this room and allow us to continue our retail expansion, open up another 500 doors, execute an Amazon launch, and get to $1 million in annualized revenue.
So it's time to leave this behind. And if you're wondering why have we kicked off this revolution here in Vermont, I love this state. I've been coming here my whole life. My first job was mowing lawns at the Shovel Museum. I got married here in this suit. But beyond that, it's the place, it's the people. This is a unique space in terms of its ability to nurture a radically ambitious business that raises the bar globally in its respective industry. So let's do it.
Thank you.
Man, I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I am too, actually. Two questions quickly. Where are you manufacturing the product, and what's the price point?
So we are manufacturing currently in Minnesota, just because there aren't current production facilities capable of it in Vermont, and the price point is roughly $1 a plink.
So how are you going to protect your IP? I assume you have a brand you're going to build, and then you have a product that tastes good and is going to be accepted. How do you protect someone from coming in and analyzing that? And
I think they're simple. It would be sort of simple to say, no one will try as hard as us on taste, and we'll keep pushing on brand. But that is a point. But Max and I have innovation in our DNA. Max literally wrote a book called Trend Driven Innovation, and I've produced world-renowned events and awarded liquid products and powdered products.
So you guys created this technology for getting CO2 in the capsule and the taste and the.
I did a deep dive into effervescent tablet technology, saw that it was already there. We have a deal with our contract manufacturer over the next 5 years. We co-created a formula that we will get for $1 at the end of our 5-year term. But we will continue to create ownable formulations, but it's not really about that. It's about brand authenticity and message. Thanks.
Tell me about your sort of current competitors and how they're sort of stealing your market or trying to compete with you in the marketplace.
Yeah, it's a really interesting time. The vast majority of our competitors fall on either end of those spectrums. So there's been this white space. There are a handful of companies going for that middle, that sweet spot. Shout out to an incredible company called Waterdrop from Austria, who've been at it for longer than us, but they're actually going for a slightly more mature audience. It's almost like an essence of flavor. I think what they underestimate about the American market is the importance of fun and flavor. And there's like a little bit of hedonism, dare I say, to the American palate. Like, you guys are the ones who are like, I like my sundae. Could I put bacon in my sundae? You know, I think we have that, and I say that with love. That's why I'm bringing up my family here. Like, so we're bringing that joy and that energy to the category, and we don't see anyone else doing it.
I saw you had a few pictures of where you are located, for example, in Vermont. What's your distribution channels look like? Who are you going through from a distributor perspective?
So we just signed a statewide deal with Farrell Distributing, who are the premier DSD distributing partner in Vermont. They open up us to do local deals with CVS, with Hannaford, with Target, so that we can start testing for a more nationwide approach at the right time. We're not rushing for those opportunities, but we're currently sold in City Market, Healthy Living, OGE, Ski Rack, and approximately 50 other stores around the state. Cool. Boom.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Max, Luke, nice. Very nice.
Thanks, Tom. That was fun. Thank you, Tom. That was good fun. That was fantastic. Cheers, man.
All right. We need your help, everybody. So that's all 8 of them, which is hard to believe. What we'd love to do is we're going to take some time here. We'd love to have you all vote for the Audience Award. So what you want to do is head on over to, what is it, just past the bricks here, I'm assuming, right? Okay. Just haven't been down there. Okay, yeah. And you're going to get a token there, and you can vote for who you want by using that. So if you would go do that, that would be great. The judges are going to work on their award. And a couple of things going on. If you want to grab a drink, of course, Sugar Snap doing their thing. You can try Plink. That would be great. Or get up. Try some of that, too. So we'll see you at about 15 or so, okay? Thank you. quick announcement for everybody. If you haven't voted for the audience award, would you please do that so we can count them up and keep things moving? Please? Thank you.
right, everyone. We'll be wrapping up in just a couple of minutes. If you have not yet voted, please vote. The tokens are right by the voting machines. The Lake Champlain Chamber staff are there and ready to start counting. Don't forget, you are part of the audience. The Audience Choice Award is $5,000 on the table for one of our founders. So please vote. We'll see you in a few minutes.
I understand that the verdicts are in. So come on back. I have no idea. I don't know. Did you see anything you like?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we get to see all these.
Yeah.
The results are in. The results are in.
The results are in. Yeah. Hey, have you seen them all?
Yes, I have seen.
Come for the party.
That's good. Yeah, I'll just tell folks. Yeah, I'm just gonna tell folks to come over, and then I'll bring my. My.
I'm done, right?
I don't know. Okay. I can't remember, because you know I'm on top of things. Are we? Is this live? Am I live? Okay. All right, everyone. About 15 or so seconds, we're going to be making the big reveal. So make your way back to your seats. Cohort, get ready. We have the decisions. Let the judges come back to their seats. We'll be making the announcement momentarily. Hey, everyone. This is it. It's what we've all been waiting for. Very excited, yes. But before we go down the big reveal, as I said earlier this evening, tonight would not be possible without some key people. And that does start with the coaches who work with us here at LaunchVT. We have one-on-one coaching where the founders and their coaches build very strong bonds over the course of 12 weeks working together to refine their business models, their product market fit, their go-to-market strategies, and ultimately their pitches. So I'd like to give some special thanks to our coaches. For those of you who are here with us tonight, coaches, you are welcome to come over and give us a wave or wave in place. I know there's still a lot of people in the room. So I will call out your names, and however you'd like to be recognized, no pressure, you are welcome to put the spotlight on you. So working with Sleep Well Recycling, we had Ari Suliotis and Matanya Horowitz. With Jeff Desjarnette at Tacitly, Jeff Chu and Brady Hoffman. Where are you two? I've seen you. Hi, guys. Purple Couch. We had Jason Dolat-Shahi. Jason, thank you. Thank you. Dandelion was coached by a veteran of LaunchVT, Dave Schmidt. Where are you, Dave? He's here. There, right there. Core 360 worked with Jim Frazier and Vinny Jawartram. Are you guys still here? Yes, no, maybe? Thank you. Dairy Dirt worked with another one of our veteran coaches, Arian Taibumari. He's not here tonight, but hello, Arian. I hope you're tuned in. Logic Building Systems worked with Jim Feinson, a beloved coach here. Hi, Jim. Thank you for everything again. And finally, Plink worked with another veteran coach, Neil Bainton. Neil, if you're still here, thank you for everything. Or maybe you tuned in. I can't remember. Again, thank you all. We would not have a show like we did tonight were it not for you, the countless hours that you put into our founders, the belief that you provide them with, and just the love and joy that you actually bring to this very special program is remarkable. So thank you. Another thank you, especially, again, I know we said our nod to Hula in the chamber, but there are two people in particular that, as I was joking with Kathy Davis, the president of the chamber, if it were not for them, I would have run naked down the street with my hair on fire earlier this week. They literally kept me sane. Pat O'Neill, the VP of Finance at the chamber. Thank you, my friend. When I was overwhelmed and feeling like really hormone-laden, he centered me. He brought me back down. And of course, the unstoppable Chloe King at Hula. Holy smokes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, from both Hula and Chamber, as I mentioned earlier, the teams were amazing. So thank you. So now we finally do the real reveal. I keep telling you guys and then going off on a different tangent, but now we're going to make it happen. So Tom Torty, who is the CEO of the Lake Champlain Opportunity Fund, unfortunately couldn't be here last moment. So I will actually be presenting that award. Excellent. And I have that. Thank you for doing your job, audience, and voting. And here's the big moment. The winners of the Audience Choice Award for $5,000, that is non-dilutive cash. You can just put it in your pocket and walk away. Here it comes, Sleep Well Recycling. Come on up, Josh.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everything.
Thank you. Woo! Not only is Josh saving the world one mattress at a time, but he does it while singing. So, I mean, if that's not worth $5,000, I don't know what is. And now I would like to introduce our president of the Lake Champlain Chamber, Kathy Davis, who will be presenting the Grand Prize Award for $15,000. Again, non-dilutive cash. You can go out and do just about anything you want with it. The big reveal.
Hi. Lauren mentioned, I'm Kathy Davis, and I want to thank you all for being here tonight. I want to take a moment and just thank our coaches, our mentors, and all of the community members who gave so freely of your time and expertise to this cohort this year. I also want to do a second round of thanks to the entire Lake Champlain Chamber team. They collectively have an excellent sense of humor, and they make everything we do more fun. And then special thanks to Lauren, who poured so much of herself into this, while also incubating, as she mentioned. So there are so many individuals and organizations that make this work that we do possible. You can see their banners around here this evening. Their financial contributions help us move this forward, and you can learn more about them in the program. And if you can, please take the opportunity to thank them if you come across them, because they do power what we do. There's many people and organizations who have supported LaunchVT for a number of years, and a couple of years ago, thanks to a generous donation from Stephanie and Tim Miller in honor of their late father, we launched the Bobby Miller Opportunity Fund. And many of the organizations and individuals that support LaunchVT year after year have also donated to the Bobby Miller Fund, ensuring that we can do this work both in the short term, but also the long term. So I just want to take the moment and thank all of them for their support and for growing these opportunities here in Vermont. So the Lake Champlain Chamber is really about creating opportunities, and the favorite part of my job is that I get to witness the passion that our business community brings to their work. They so much care about the how and the why of what they do, and we're so much better for it. Our community is better for it, but also our businesses are better for it. And if anything, if you saw anything tonight, you saw that passion on display. So my last round of thank yous is to the 2023 cohort for doing the hard work, for showing up, for not leaving anything on the table tonight, and also for the opportunities that I know you will continue to create for years to come. So thank you. And without further ado, here we go. Our 2023 LaunchVT grand prize of $15,000 goes to Plink.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is this why you came to America? This is yeah. Dude, thank you. Thank you so much.
Well done.
Should we stand in front of
Oh, yeah. Fuck, yeah.
Do you have anything you need to say?
Thank you, everyone, and thank you for staying overtime. I just wanted to say one thing on behalf of the judges, how hard it was for them to deliberate this evening, which is why we took a little extra time. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming this evening. Thank you to our sponsors, our stakeholders, our coaches. Thank you, Tom, as always, for being the best partner. And cohort, hang behind. We got some pictures to take of you. Thank you, everyone, for coming to Demo Night 2023. Good night.